we are going to keep coming and coming and coming. All right, so moving on to the controversy of the day, which actually stars yours truly's, since it's all of us here. Before we get that, question of the day. This is something that we've been running into. We're coming, by the way, first off, before even the question, we are coming to the University of Illinois, Urbana. A lot of people thought this was canceled. The live Louder with Crowder broadcast, like you saw at SMU with the light show and the sketches and the interactive stuff, that we had to cancel that, but we are descending upon University of Illinois in Champaign/Urbana. I don't know what that means exactly. Doing a Change My Mind broadcast live. 7 on campus, 8 p.m. Eastern here on the Thursday show. Question to you, this is something we're going to be talking about today. We've been running into on campus, and it's like running into a brick wall consistently, and it's worse than the liberal bias that's blatant. We talked about the CNN by omission. Yeah. Have you run into this, policies that have changed or rules that you feel or have seen been applied unequally? Let us know, because that's what we've been running into with SMU, with Illinois. So to start, before we get to SMU, with Illinois, the issue why we had to cancel the live show, the stage show, again, we're still doing the Change My Mind, was because there's going to be no security. No security, and we didn't have access to the venue until 2 hours before. To give you an idea, how many tens of thousands of dollars in equipment do we have to ensure that we send down?
It's $80,000 to $100,000.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty much, it's a studio that we have to bring on down. Plus we couldn't set foot on SMU without the insurance, right? Remember that? Right. So you can't even come here with this stuff. Yeah. So we weren't going to have access to the venue, and no security, by the way. And there's a miscommunication with the Illinois Republicans. Now the show's back on. They're letting people know we're so glad to be working with them and have their support. What happened was, they thought we weren't willing to pay, I guess, for the security. Typically, that's not how it works, but they're not coming anyway. They said there's no credible threat. Yeah. In case you didn't know, we have the FBI on speed dial here at Louder with Crowder. So it doesn't matter. And now we've offered, with a Change My Mind, to pay campus police officers security full in cash up front. They're still not coming. They're going to send one. So it's an Illinois, union state. Is there ever an event with 650 to 1,000 people without any security? Just by doing if you just do the actuary tables, someone's going to die in that crowd. Heart attack, seizure, something.
You got to have security for any event like that.
For any event. None.
And more than 2 hours.
Maybe we'll send one guy.
One guy.
It took all day to set up down at SMU. There's no way you can set up a show
at SMU is 2,500, and they were awesome. Most of the people, until afterward, they started booting people. Some of the other members at SMU booted the college Republicans who put it on, who, by the way, are fantastic. Thank you guys so much for putting on that show. That was incredibly difficult.
Call your buddies up at Illinois.
Just the entrances and the exits are, there's like 12.
Crazy. They're going to send one guy in, and the one guy inside. It's not going to be a Tim Kennedy lookalike.
Yeah. No. You want us to call your son just to check on him. Well, that's crazy online, too. That's the kind of officer. So anyway, speaking of SMU, though, we ran into this, and this is something that just we find very odd. At SMU, we did have some protesters. Now, SMU was so grateful. This McFarland Auditorium was full. The last time it was full was Conan O'Brien during the Team Coco tour. Yeah. And no coverage at all from the mainstream media, but there was tons of coverage on the protesters. The protest was the Dallas Voice, I think. I don't know. There were a bunch of publications.
Tried to pick it up,
and there were about 40 of them there. First off, I think there was a clip from this girl on YouTube. Let's make sure we give her the credit, because she went out and conducted some interviews with these people who had a problem with us at SMU.
Anybody want to talk about their sign?
I mean, it's not my sign specifically.
So first off, if it's not her sign, whose sign is it? Well, these protesters who show up, this is what's kind of odd. There's never an event at Illinois without any police present. Certainly when this is the biggest event that night on campus at SMU, no one knows what their signs are for. No one had even seen the show.
I wouldn't mind, the fact that, Crowder was in, like the last time he came here, he was in a space, like, over there by the flagpole, and it was a more general open space that, he would be able to speak freely and stuff like that, but the fact that he is, basically, what he is saying is, pretty much hate, hating against certain groups of people. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with the fact that he's getting this, this grand, space in the McFarland Auditorium to be able to say what he, usually says.
So you would just prefer him to have a smaller space?
Yeah, not even so smaller, just a more general, place where everyone can talk, just not so grand as McFarland Auditorium.
It's just there's this concept now that I would have been fine with the change my mind. They kicked us out at SMU when we did change. We had a permit. The group brought us in, and they kicked us out. Was it SMU or TCU?
TCU.
TCU. That's right. No, never mind.
We lost the
That's
permit.
right. We lost the permit. SMU, they were fine actually.
Yeah.
So sorry, I need to correct myself there. So there you go. There you go. I could say I was wrong. I couldn't see how easy that is. I don't know whose sign this is. I'm a dick. You can do that. It's not that hard. I was fine with it, but I was so mad that they gave him this auditorium. Leftists don't have a general concept of something earned.
No.
Yeah.
Did they give us 2,500 people?
You did a voice in Arthur once.
Yes,
Therefore.
Therefore.
Yeah, exactly.
So I would have been okay if this person didn't if less people wanted to see him. Then I would be okay with it. But because people want to, that's when I come out here and hold up a sign, and I don't know where I found it.
When we walked over there was 40 protesters max with 500 people an hour before the show lined up down the block. Right? That was the comparison.
And here's the thing, by the way. Okay, we're not showing up just to troll and get people worked up. When we show up, we want to do the show. That's why it takes 15 people at least, and a whole day of prep to get this stuff going. I think that's actually the protesters. If you look, they were just so deflated.
Yeah,
they were sitting there because everyone in the line was like, "Hey man, good for you. You exercised that First Amendment. Cool." Yeah. They were nice, and the protesters realized everyone there was having a great time, and that's what's going to happen in Illinois. It's the most fun party on campus. Everyone's having a grand time. They go in, they're laughing, they're cheering, and it's harder to show as opposed to a lecture. It's harder to show up and be surrounded by laughing, happy people and protest without being like, "Oh, I'm the."
I was saying, like, you quickly realize, it's me. I'm
right.
I don't even know why I'm here.
Maybe it's me. And so, unfortunately, with Illinois, what's happened? We've had to scale this back because we can't do the Louder with Crowder live show going into it. We can't do that, but we can do one hell of a change my mind. Yeah. It's like in Fred Claus. The important thing is every kid has a gift to open on Christmas. So it's just baseball bats and hula hoops. We can do change my mind. We can set up a table and a tarp, and we're calling everyone out there who's a Mug Club member. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this on CRTV, we want you to bring your mugs. Come on out. We'll have some beverages. I think we're gonna we couldn't bring cigars. It's a smoke-free campus. Maybe we can. Maybe you can chew on them. We want you to come out there and be our wall of security. We're gonna have some extra security, but if they're only going to send one armed officer because there's no credible threat, well, we had 600 plus people reserved and we had another 500 people on a waiting list. Who knows who's going to show up now when it's outside? We're calling on you to come on out to University of Illinois Urbana and be our wall of security. And by the way, and to be kind, we're calling on you to be civil. We want to create a path for people to come up for the Change My Mind, which is going to be a new topic to be, by the way, unveiled. You'll be able to watch it here live on YouTube. Live. You want to know how Change My Mind unfolds? You'll get to see it for the first time, live in person. So University of Illinois, they didn't have security. They weren't going to let us get into the venue until 2 hours before. Again, they can say, no, sure, you're allowed. We're just not going to allow you to make a living. No, sure, you're allowed. We're just not going to give you the security that we would give to anyone else, just like YouTube. No, sure, you're allowed. We're just going to hit you with copyright violations that don't really exist, that aren't time-coded with any people specified. Twitter says, no, sure, you're allowed, but it violates policies. And this is what the left does, is not about does the law exist. It's is the law applied equally, fairly. And then in this case, the left, as we see with the University of Illinois, as we saw with some standards at SMU, again, they were mostly great. The college Republicans, fantastic. We're going to do that dinner with you guys. Thank you so much. They not only don't obey the law, they create new policies that aren't law, and they don't follow their own policies. They don't even follow their own rules that they put, sometimes, by the way, in flagrant disregard to the law. Like Hermes over there at UT Arlington. Okay, by the way, here, let's do something here, okay? We're going to do some shows. Everyone here we know, Louder with Crowder Live. You want to do that? That's the full-on show, sketches, a lot of fun. That's what we want to do. We're entertainers. But if you don't do that, we're going to give you a couple other options. You can bring us to your school. We can do a Change My Mind. Or option number 3, let's start with Mr. Hermes, Professor Hermes at UT Arlington, who went around spreading libelous memes. I'm calling you out, you filthy son of a bitch. I know you think it's not as bad as calling you a Nazi, mind you, with fake memes and swastikas on you. You teach logic? Okay, we'll come on down to your school and we'll debate you. We'll start with you. Okay, let's start with this guy, and then let's move on down to campus. Again, 3 options. Louder with Crowder Live, that's when we want to do it. Change My Mind. Or take your campus, line up all the social studies, gender studies, sociology, philosophy, I don't even know what these topics, humanities 101 professors, line them all up, give us a list, and we will offer them the chance to debate. I'm not going to debate, obviously, some nuclear physicists on the third law of thermodynamics, but people who teach philosophy, people who teach sociology, people who believe there are 72 genders and they're professors at your school. Let's see if they're willing to step up. Louder with Crowder will come into town and foot the bill, and we will debate you. Line them all up one by one. Just don't line up anyone you expect back in one piece. Intellectually, by the way, as it deals with YouTube, again, University of Illinois, Urbana, we're calling on you. We need you Thursday, March 29th, March 30th? March 30th, University of Illinois, Urbana. We're going to do a Change My Mind segment. 29th. Sorry. I was on a roll. I was on a roll. The Germans.
March 29th.
Did we run away when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Here's the thing. It's been a rough, because not only did we deal with Twitter, we filed a legal petition of information with Twitter. Bill Richmond will be back. We'll be talking about that. Yeah. Not only have we been dealing with BS copyrights with YouTube, not only did we get booted when we reserved the space for an after party at SMU, and we have protesters there who show up with signs that aren't theirs, protesting a show that they've never watched. Not only were we not allowed access to the venue as agreed upon in Illinois to go in and simply bring in our equipment and make sure that things were safe. Not only did they not provide any security, but let's just be honest, this is a raw piping that conservatives receive on a regular basis. And here's the deal. We're not in there to be predatory. We want this to be the most fun show on campus, okay? We want to come on campus, visit you guys, and make sure that this is the party that college Republicans never got to have. It's a comedy show. That's what we intend to do. We're not coming in for any other reason. We're not in this to be a shark, but you know what? We can be, I've talked about this, we can be one hell of a puffer fish, because if you keep poking the bear, we're going to make you wish you picked somebody else, okay? If you're going to come after us with all this bullshit, these bogus copyright claims, these bullshit policy violations, not provide any security and pull that last minute and act as though it's on us, we're going to make you rather wish that you kissed a cement truck. You can't stop us. We're coming to Illinois anyway. I don't know what we're going to do. We hope that you're there. We are coming nonstop on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook. There's nothing you can do to stop us, period, ever, period. And here's the thing. If you want to pick a fight, there's going to be someone easier. Okay, we're just going to make it difficult for you and wish that you picked somebody else. So if you want to do this, you better be ready to lay us the out and put us down, because we are going to keep coming and coming and coming until there are no more Mug Club members ever, and the funds run out and we're not able to come at you anymore. And believe me, we're not the kind of people that you want in your lives. We'll see you at Illinois. This now is different. We're there, we want to have fun, we want this to be the biggest party on campus, but make no mistake, we're doing a Change My Mind. It's civil, but this is now a takeover. It's a takeover at University of Illinois at Urbana. It starts now. Hey, did you like this video? Of course you did. Unless there's something wrong with you, in which case you can comment below. What's your problem with this video? We want to hear from you, and we promise you 100%, I give you, my word is my bond, we'll answer every single negative comment. For those who are normal, you can leave a thumbs up and subscribe.